Shaking my head, but here we go. We're jumping into the grand finals and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Golden Aura. We have the Danish Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Storm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And you know what time it is. If you're in the chat, it's Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you believe will be the champion this week. Will it be ByuN or will it be MaxPax? We do have some outside information, of course. We were just notified that ByuN has not slept. He's been awake like 24 hours playing StarCraft and competing in tournaments. So ByuN is fatigued. That is true. And meanwhile, MaxPax, like, this is peak gaming hour for MaxPax. Like he just woke up. What are you talking about? MaxPax, he's ready to go. He's used to it, Pappy. He's used to it. MaxPax is on that gamer sleep schedule. And we'll see who this will favor. For now, we do have ByuN going for an economic opener, going for a Rax expand, a single gas opener out of ByuN, going for the CC on the low ground. ByuN is here though, sorry, MaxPax is here to delay, to be as annoying as possible. Does attempt to delay the expansion, forces out a second SCV. Up! Worker gets very low, and will force out a third SCV. Ay, ay, ay. So forcing out, delaying, waiting for the Marine, I should say. Marine pops out, CC has been placed, and ByuN can finally expand. Again, just MaxPax being such a nuisance early on. Meanwhile, a shout out to Protostegosaurus in the Gah, papi. Gah. Thank you so much. Shout out to Protostegosaurus. Ursa TV did give some subs earlier, but a shout out to Stegosaurus for the 5 gifted subs to the community. Thank you so much for the support. Gracias, papi. Gracias. Thank you so much for the love, and a shout out to both Stegosaurus and Ursa TV for hosting this event. You may be curious, what is an Ursasaurus? What is the name of this tournament? What even is that? What does it mean? Who does it be? I mean, we have a half of it right here, right now. It is a hairy dinosaur, but it is the collaboration between Ursa TV and Stegosaurus as well. With their powers combined as one, they are the Ursasaurus, and they are the main sponsors of this tournament, the main sponsors of the Ursasaurus Cup. So much love, thank you so much. They are very passionate individuals, passionate fans of StarCraft. Thank you. Thank you for all that you do for the community, for the scene, for StarCraft 2. Thank you, Papi, thank you. As MaxPax did delay the CC, did get the SCV, did manage to delay. I can't help but try to picture that. Oh no. The hairy dinosaur. Oh no. I mean, in my mind, that's what the Ursasaurus is. I know that you can't see it because it's like in the shadow of the sun, like on the logo. Like it's just dark, so you can't tell, but it's furry. Oh no, not like this. Otherwise it would just be a Stegosaurus. True. Behind this, I assumed it was going to be a Blink-based opener, so I didn't really bring too much attention to it, but it was Twilight Council, not into Blink. Twilight Council into a Dark Shrine. Very cheeky move here by MaxPax. You may be thinking, DTs, does that really work against Terran? This early on, it definitely can. Scans are available, usually, but this early on, we're muling. ByuN is muling his heart out, and if he mules at the wrong moments, if he does not have a scan, that's game. That's game then and there. Adepts a shade into the main. Ooh, catching more SCVs. Workers are going down. At the same time, ByuN is moving out with his own drop. ByuN is coming, does catch the Prism. Prism is zoned away. Nice start. Dark Shrine about to finish. But the Prism needs to move out to warp in across the map. Back in the natural base. Shield battery is done. Overcharge going to be available. Shield battery is being targeted down. No overcharge. Overcharge is denied. ByuN is breaking through. Defensive DT does morph in. There's a scan. DT goes down, and MaxPax is in trouble. And ByuN gets a lock on, takes out a Stalker, gets 1, gets 2, 1 Stalker left. The juggling, oh my god, the micro. ByuN, he hasn't slept in 24 hours. He takes on every single worker. He's snowballing out of control. The Prism is still not in the main base. Still no DT harass. And GG gets called. ByuN takes game number 1. Whew. GG. A very intense game state, very aggressive build out of MaxPax, risking it by going for the Dark Shrine opener, was denied. ByuN able to have some incredible control as well, able to juggle those Cyclones, able to avoid those Stalker shots, and able to focus down not just the Stalkers, but the shield battery as well to make sure there was no overcharge. With that, GG. GG, well played. ByuN takes the lead. Oh my god. Whew. GG, well played. Still catching up in the chat. Now we're getting into game 2. Let me promise you that you didn't miss anything in the series versus Australia. No. I'm sure you played well, Bomyocha. I'm sure you played well. Ah. 사랑해, 밥. 사랑해. Did ByuN sleep between Tenacious Tussle and Wardy Monday? That is a good question. He should have. Oh. He should have. That I do not know. I know he's been up at least from the Wardy TV Monday. I know he's been up from at least that. But you raise a good question. And that is one of those questions that I'm afraid to ask. I don't know if I want the answer. Do I want to know that ByuN has been up since that early on, since again over 24 hours? I don't know if I want that in my life. I don't oh no. Not like this. We can assume ourselves. It's fine. It's fine. As spawning in the top right hand corner of Ghost River, we have the red Protoss player from the land of Denmark representing Psystorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. Leading the series 1-0, it is ByuN. Here we go. ByuN Dursley slept. ByuN unstoppable. ByuN has, as is being said, he's becoming one with the game. He has a lot of strength, he has a lot of stamina. ByuN, he can play all night long, Papi. Ah, let's go. He's crazy. And so far a good start, but we'll see how the series does continue. This time going for a very different kind of opener, which makes sense. We're loading into Ghost River, a very small map, very short rush distance by ground, and ByuN is opening up double gas. Double gas opener into a faster factory, into a delayed CC, going into faster Hellion, faster Cyclone production. Again, it makes sense just because the map is known for aggression. So ByuN going for a bit of a safer approach this time. Behind this, Gate Cyber Expand, standard opener from MaxPax. Everything looking as it should. ByuN, Shah. We've all seen Light do weird hours. Weird chat. True. Oh, we don't talk about that though. we don't need to talk about that, Papi. It's fine. Ah, not like this. That's why I said before, ByuN, he's one of us, Papi. He's one of us. He's a DJ. Oh no. How much did I sleep? I think I slept in between this event and the Wardy event. I think I slept like 4 hours. It's pretty good. It's not bad. I was tempted to have a nap after this, but I think as ByuN will get a scout of the tech. Very nicely done. Does go back in to click to confirm. It is going to be a Twilight Council opener once again. This time it should not be a Dark Shrine. This time it should be Blink. Should be. We'll see how much fun MaxPax wants to have here. I mean, would ByuN really expect DTs 2 games in a row? Would he really expect that? Would he? Yeah, maybe. He might. We'll see. As Adept is going to be shut down, does delay the CC, so nicely done. And we have our answer. It is going to be Blink. Okay, so MaxPax is going to be a little bit more sensible here in Game 2. Going for Blink instead, something more standard. MaxPax is calming down. Are you planning on casting the Wardy TV Festival? We would, but we don't have permission. Otherwise, 100%. We would be on that, but we don't currently have permission to cover the festival. So I believe that's only being covered by Wardy. Which is okay. Ooh, as Cyclone goes down, ByuN overextends. MaxPax is barely defending with the bare minimum. That was so close. MaxPax only losing a single Adept that was lost earlier. Very nice defense. MaxPax holds. That was not worth it for ByuN. Behind this, how many gateways? We have 2 gateways at the natural, 1 gateway in the main. It's going to be 3-gate Blink. Very safe opener by MaxPax. Looks like 3-gate Blink into a 3rd. Now, at least in years past, MaxPax was known for his Blink control, and some would even say that he made 3-gate Blink look like 4-gate Blink. So MaxPax, even though he does have 1 less gateway, this can still be quite aggressive in the hands of MaxPax. This can still pop off, as MaxPax is moving out with the Prism and the Stalkers, 3rd base being taken on location, ByuN going for a drop at the same time, and back at home, ByuN has his tank set up. He has a tank and a bunker on the low ground, he's got a tank and a Sim City in the main. ByuN should be okay, but the bunker isn't done! And he goes for the dive. Boys are being pulled, the tank is exposed, the tank goes down! And ByuN is being broken. Across the map, he does drop into the mineral line. MaxPax does pull away in time. He does save his workers. That's going to be 5 SCV kills. And the drop isn't getting much done. Can maybe get the gas geyser, but not much else. ByuN will hold, but when it comes to the trades, MaxPax will come out on top. I say that the drop is still gaining some value. Up, gets a Stalker, gets a probe. Not bad. Finally some economic damage. Gets 1, gets 2, gets 3 workers. Medevac will escape. So not a bad counterattack here from ByuN. Gets 4 probes, a Stalker, and a gas geyser. Meanwhile, MaxPax is done, but there's a tank in position. MaxPax does warp in. Remember, getting his 3rd base up and running behind this. Looking forward. Ooh, and will force a cancel. Does cancel the racks containing ByuN. ByuN is going to be contained. Still trying to stabilize on 2 bases. Still has the drop active as well, keeping and forcing MaxPax to keep some supply back at home. Stalkers are tied up, but still finds more damage. Getting another SCV. Meanwhile, ByuN drops into the natural. He gets 2 workers and will actually escape. Or will he? Is going to attempt to evacuate. There are still Stalkers on the map. MaxPax is hunting down the drop. Won't quite get it. And MaxPax, he does miss the intercept. And ByuN gets away. He threads the needle, gets away. There are still more Stalkers active. ByuN headed for the mineral line. And he will find some more workers. Not bad. Pretty impressive. Oh, no. This medevac has gotten so much value. I mean, it's not like an insane amount of damage, but what, 8 probes, 8 workers over time? Not bad at all. Now here outside the main. Keeping MaxPax busy. Stim finally does complete. But ByuN has to be careful. As ByuN moves out, MaxPax is ready for a dive. Ready for a drop. Set up for a drop outside the main. ByuN trying to break out. His army is spotted. That is the cue for MaxPax to dive into the main. And there are reinforcements back at home. ByuN, he's ready for this. Somewhat. MaxPax trying to force friendly fire. And might get the tank. Tank is getting low. But ByuN does on siege. Does save the tanks. Nice cleanup, nice defense. ByuN, finally the medevac is going to be shut down. Took a while, but it does fall. But the medevac did well. Medevac did well for itself. And now ByuN can focus on his push. The War Prism is still active. ByuN, he pulls the boys! It's going to be a 2-base all-in. It's all or nothing for ByuN. The Prism does confirm the lack of workers. Colossus on the way. The boys are a little bit late. Yeah, the army is getting in some of the tanks. Tank goes down. There's 2 left. Big volley's going off. The Immortal getting low. But I believe the Colossus has arrived. Yeah, the Colossus does make it. Zealots are coming in for a surround. And GG gets called. ByuN, he runs out of steam, and MaxPax ties up the series 1-1. GG. MaxPax, he was warping across the map, and he had also, again, slowed down the all-in. Was able to collapse in and shut it down. GG. With that, we have a back and forth. We have a back and forth series, and we're getting into game 3 on site Delta. Again, we are tied up, and I'm glad to see that it's not going to be one-sided. It's not going to be a 3-0 in either direction. Our players are more competitive than that. Let's go. Just catching up. But I forgot who raided me here, but hello. We got a couple of raids throughout the course of the events. ByuN raided us earlier. Shout out to ByuN. We had Vindicta, Miguelito. Vindicta raided us earlier as well. As well as Express Karma. So shout out to the raids that we got over the course of the broadcast. Thank you. Thank you so much. ByuN, Miguelito, Express Karma. Gracias. This is when you're like, I have no idea who those people are, and you got raided into them, and then you got raided again as well. The raid train got you here somehow. But welcome. And here we go. We're getting into game number 3, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of site Delta, we have the Danish Protoss player, the red Protoss representing System Gaming, tying up the series and bringing us to game 3. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion, going for the eBay block. I assume it is ByuN. Going for the proxy in the natural. Oh my, ByuN, calm down. When I saw the SCV moving out, I was like, okay, sure, I guess eBay block, to force an unnatural natural. No. Proxy in the natural base, right next to the main as well. He's crazy. He's lost his mind. He's a little bit tired. We'll see if this works out. As ByuN is being so brazen with the proxy location. MaxPax coming with the probe scouts will confirm that the Rax is missing. Now the Rax could be thrown down further back in the main, could be thrown down at the natural or the third base, so MaxPax still has to piece it all together. MaxPax, upon going down the ramp, he will scout. He will confirm. He does get eyes on the Rax. Nexus gets placed. Reaper's on the way. And we'll see what ByuN can get done. As the bunker is going to be, for now, denied. Goes down the bunker. It's going to be on ByuN to work with the RNG and to keep that SCV alive. So far, so good. Yeah, very nice movement. The SCV is going to be able to, barely maintain itself. Shield battery's on the way. SCV taking a lot of damage. No! SCV! One more shot. One shot away from going down. The Stalker is in production. The probe will fall, and the bunker should complete. Just barely. The bunker should barely finish. It's going to be close. Stalker, it's on the way. He wants the SCV. Oh, it's so close. Reaper taking a lot of hits, and the SCV does fall. And that means no repairs. No repairs on the bunker. Shield battery is done, and MaxPax should shut this down. Behind this, there is a second Reaper. Second Reaper, but alas, the bunker, it doesn't really have too much longevity. There's the salvage. MaxPax does defend. And the Rax has to float back home. Speaking of back at home, ByuN going for the CC on location. Factory's already done. Second factory. We're meching it up. This is ByuN when he hits like that kind of delirious mental state after being up for like 25 hours. He's let's go. Now we have seen ByuN embrace mech before, especially Mass Cyclone for like a 2-base all-in. Has done that in the past and is going to attempt to pivot into that as well. We'll see if he can. Pulling a page out of Gumiho's playbook. I'm here for it. As MaxPax is taking into Blink, Twilight Council's done. Blink is on the way. Ooh, getting up to 3 gates. So it's going to be 3-gate Blink here out of MaxPax. At least 3 gateways. Could double down and get into a 4th gate as well. Here we go. As ByuN, yep, he's going Mass Cyclone. He's rushing into Hurricane Engines. The quote-unquote new Cyclone upgrade. New old. The Cyclones, they no longer thrust. They are in the engine. As the initial Cyclones are spotted, but that isn't really a tell. I mean, Cyclones in the early game are a little bit more commonplace in TvP. So 2 Cyclones isn't enough to really raise any red flags. MaxPax is setting up. Again, because of the extra gateway, he's going to have extra warp-ins. Stalkers are amassing. Ooh, 3rd base on the way. And we'll see if ByuN can snowball out of control with this. See if he can pop off. He has potential. Here we go. Since ByuN's final gamer brain form. Ah, it's beautiful. It's amazing. So MaxPax is moving out. The Cyclone's getting ready for a flank even. Getting ready for the surround, luring in the Stalkers. Stalkers, they push into the natural, and the Cyclones, they come in from behind. But who surrounds who? That's the real question. Stalkers, likewise, they do warp in. They do trade 1 for 1. And so far, nice control here from MaxPax. Breaks the lock-ons. Is now aware of the Mass Cyclone. Behind this charge. Starts... Oh, never mind. Cancels charge. Okay. You have my attention. I was going to say, typically against Mass Cyclone, units like Charge Ult and Immortals, they can trade quite well. But when MaxPax is doubling down, warps in more Stalkers. We'll see if he can keep up. Ooh, it's a kill, not a cancel. There we go. Now starts up charge. He did delay for an extra warp in, so it looks like he was just more concerned with reinforcing. Then into charge lots. Oh, get the Cyclone. And get the Cyclone, and alas, GG gets called. ByuN will tap out. ByuN, the goal there was to catch out the Stalkers and to snowball from there and go into an all-in. Alas, he wasn't quite able to get the surround he was hoping for. The Stalkers, they slipped away, and ByuN didn't get the momentum that he really needed there. GG, well played. Whew. GG, MaxPax now takes a 2-1 lead and is 1 game away from becoming our champion. It's for walking that royal road. Bearing in mind, this is the first Ursasaurus Cup that MaxPax is playing in. He was not in the previous weeks in the previous editions. This is his first time, and he's looking to make it a memorable one. We're going to leave a lasting impression. And our next game is going to be on Amphion. Here we go. As we are settling in. Here we go. We're getting into hopefully not the final game of the series. The pressure is on, and this player here in the bottom left is one game away from becoming our champion. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have the Danish Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. Well, no mass is all he needs, and spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. Again, the pressure is on. He has to fight back here and now to force the ace match. It is ByuN. Here we go. Tell the NA people who beat MaxPax this morning. It was Solar. Yes, it was Solar. Last week it was Shin. This week it was Solar. Shin was denied the potential rematch. We mentioned it earlier, but Shin had a very close series against Estrella. If you missed it, if you missed out, I do recommend the VODs. Shin versus Estrella was wild. It was the highlight of the tournament. One of the highlights of the tournaments. Estrella also had a very close series against ByuN. Just, you know what? Just really good matches. Just really good matches this week. Some amazing StarCraft. I recommend the VODs. Check them out. Watch some StarCraft. Oh my god. Did have some amazing matches, but now we're settling into game 4. And ByuN has been very chaotic so far, especially in that last game, I should emphasize. What does he go for this time? What do you have for us? What do you got? Back at home, standard opener for MaxPax. Gate Cyber Expand. ByuN likewise going for an economic opener, but he's going for the CC on the high ground, not on the low ground. So a bit of a safer economic start from the Terran. Okay, so ByuN, he's got the mech out of his system. Every now and then you want to just gimme-ho it up. I understand. I understand that. But he's got it out of his system. He's calming things down. No crazy mass factory, mass cycle. No. Not yet. Going for something more by the book. Oh, hello, MaxPax. Speaking of aggression and speaking of being chaotic, it's MaxPax's turn. Let's go. Pylon has been thrown down. This should be for a proxy gateway. Speaking of, back at home, everything's still looking as it should. A slab of course, warp gate is being researched, and there is that proxy gate. Now, with this proxy, MaxPax, he can apply a lot of pressure. He can reinforce real quick across the map, keep the pressure on, and potentially break ByuN early on if ByuN is a little bit too greedy and if he's caught off guard. Well, meanwhile, ByuN is scouting. Oh, he does move out. He does check. He will confirm and get eyes on the proxy gate. So nice scouting here by ByuN with that initial Reaper. ByuN working on that pylon. MaxPax forced to respond. And thankfully, because ByuN is aware, oh, the Reaper does take some extra hits. But ByuN can now start working in that direction. And can now be aware and know to, of course, play it safe. To play it safe. SV getting shut down. Likewise across the map, Hellion does get into the mineral line and will threaten the workers, but shouldn't get much done here. Oh, gets one probe. Just the one. One worker falls. Twilight Council followed here by MaxPax going into Blink. I'm assuming Blink. ByuN overextending a little bit, does not get the Adept. Cyclone takes a lot of hits. ByuN does pull away. Now with the help of the medevac, he can, of course, microvac. He can juggle his units. Shuts down the Adept. And is going for the Stalkers. And nice KDA charge. Gets the second Adept as well. Blink has just begun. The Stalker count is looking quite heavy, though. That's going to be 6 Stalkers outside of the ramp. Outside of the natural. It's going to be 3-gate Blink out of MaxPax. ByuN is contained. ByuN following this up with a Liberator. Okay. Nice lock-ons. Oh, but unable to save the Cyclone. Cyclone goes down. Lock-on on the Adept, not on the Stalkers. I mean, these weren't bad trades for MaxPax. I'm sure ByuN wants to break out. Can harass with that Liberator. More Marines are falling. No bunker on the high ground either. ByuN bleeding out a lot of units. Oh, he wants a Cyclone. It's getting low. Oh, the juggling though. Let's go. ByuN with the micro saves the Cyclone, baits out some shots, and does hold. And now finally the bunker. I was quite concerned by the lack of bunker that ByuN was going to be broken, but does throw one down. Isn't quite done yet. As MaxPax does shuffle back the weakened Stalkers. Trading with the Marines. Cyclone getting low. Ooh, Medevac goes down. The Medevac, the Cyclones. But the Natural's not broken. Liberator across the map. 5 probe kills, not bad. In the middle of that aggression. ByuN did queue up that Lib. Oof, it goes down. Suddenly not as well. I mean, it was still a better trade here for ByuN, trading out a Liberator for 5 probes, but at the same time, ByuN losing the Medevac, losing the Cyclone. At least he does secure himself on 2 bases. He's got the high ground, he's got the bunker, he's got the tank. ByuN should be secure. And behind this, following it up with Cloak Banshee. Going tank Banshee. Back at home, MaxPax, he does have detection available. Observers on the way. Robo is done. 3rd base now being taken. MaxPax has map control. MaxPax should be able to settle in. The pressure is going to be on ByuN to actually have these Banshees pay for themselves and get damage done. First Banshee moves out. And as ByuN distracts, the Banshee does get into the mineral line. Probes are going down, but there is an observer. There are some Stalkers. Banshee gets 4 probes. Can we get 5? Ooh, we barely can. 5 probes for a Banshee. And ByuN has been moving out, but he bleeds out a lot of Marines in the process. They'll siege up the tanks. With 19 Marines so far. ByuN still muling. Getting into his 3-1-1. Ideally hoping to catch out these Stalkers. But MaxPax is aware of the danger of the high ground. He knew that there were tanks there. Likewise, Banshee hits the 3rd. There's a shield battery in position. Gets 2 more probes. And ByuN does back off. Does retreat. We'll shut down the proxy. Gateway will fall. And MaxPax is at least aware of the tanks. So he's able to regain control of the center of the map. Colossus production underway. Charge is now done, so working towards charge lots. Colossi. ByuN getting his own 3rd on location. We're calming down. We're calming things down. We're building up. Getting into the mid game. It's a game state that we haven't really seen too often this series, I'll be honest. Like, the series has been very chaotic and very aggressive, and we just haven't really gotten much macro between these two until now. Like, now we're kind of slowing things down a little bit, taking our 3rds, expanding. And we'll see if the players can keep up with each other. There is an observer in position. Yeah, the drop is spotted. MaxPax pulling back. Does go for a defensive warp in. He's in position. Ooh. And will not quite get the medevac. But again, was ready for it. A quick reaction here out of MaxPax. Scan does shut down the observer. MaxPax is in the dark. ByuN has the high ground. MaxPax pushing into tanks. Oof. Big volleys going off. MaxPax does overextend. MaxPax pulling back, getting a 4th. Okay, this 4th expansion. Moving out. Let's see if the tanks are on siege. Okay, they do siege up in time. Yeah, there's a lot of biohitter support. ByuN with Mass, Widowmine, and Marauder. ByuN has, sorry, MaxPax has to respect it. Going for a warp into the main, but ByuN is in position. Does have reinforcements. MaxPax rotating around. He is caught out by the tanks. ByuN does have the supply lead. Again, that's a lot of Marauders. This is where Disruptors or Immortals come into play. Mine shots going up. And ByuN retreats. Does pull away. Again, still it's just a very tense dance between these two armies. I'm still a little bit concerned about the lack of Immortals though. Or Disruptor. It's going to be mainly Zealots instead. Tanks are ready. MaxPax pulling back. Getting a 5th. Still being active. Oh! The Observer does survive. ByuN going for a second scan, but he doesn't get it. The Observer lives. Observer does barely survive. And there's a 3rd scan finally to bring it down. Now ByuN is second home, getting a 4th base, and now taking it to Ghosts until the Ghosts come out, until the Vikings amass. ByuN can't really move out. And now MaxPax, he's bought enough time to take up when it comes to his main army. That's a 2nd robo. This should be the first sign of, you know, additional Immortals and Disruptors. MaxPax is getting there. Not there yet, but it's on the horizon. Attack volleys going up. There we go, first Disruptors on the way. ByuN is maxed. MaxPax almost there as well. I'm sure MaxPax wants to clear up some supply. So he's reinforcing. Clears him into the main. It's spotted by the sensor tower. Attack voice going off. ByuN, there's no big response. There we go. I was like, there's no response. It does pull away. At the same time, Ghosts get caught out. Disruptor as well. Yeah, MaxPax does overextend. Colossus goes down. Disruptor and another Colossus as well. Massive catch here by ByuN. Gets all the Colossi. Ooh, meanwhile, flanking Disruptor. Yeah, ByuN, I mean, I wasn't looking either. But ByuN does take a massive Nova to the face. Not quite paying attention. More Disruptors building up. I mean, now because of the Viking count, the era of Colossus has come and gone. It's now all about Disruptors. All about those Novas. CC's under fire. It goes off. Zones away the army. Massive connection! Takes some Marines, takes some Marauders. Another Nova goes off. And again, ByuN trying to chase down an army with Disruptors. It's so difficult. Those retreating Purification Novas, they're brutal. Are caught out. MaxPax pushing back in. Was able to kill the CC earlier. Tanks are still repositioning. Ooh, and where were those Disruptors? They were a little bit too far back. Novas were delayed. But MaxPax does get into the mineral line. Getting 4 CVs. 4 CVs go down, and we're making 3 Disruptors at a time. Let's go. That's gonna be a lot of Disruptors. Tanks are exposed. Yeah, they're being targeted down. 2, 3 tanks falling. Nova's going off as well. Oof. They do connect. Again, just getting up to 7 Disruptors. And without Liberator's Disruptors, they can reign supreme. I mean, this area is quite wide open. MaxPax has to pull away. Leading out a Disruptor. Six pulls back. Again, ByuN, he wants to fight out here in the open. If at all possible. DTs are trickling in. DTs and Zealots into the mineral lines. Yeah, the game is getting chaotic. Workers are going down. 12 SCV kills, 13. 14 workers falling. DTs popping off. DT in the main base as well. Yeah, MaxPax just crippling the economy. ByuN having a hard time keeping up, even though the big warping into the main. ByuN not quite in position. MaxPax collapsing on the third. Well, the army coming in from behind. ByuN trying to get a surround off, trying to catch out these disruptors. And he's losing so many workers. Every SCV is going down. It's all or nothing here for ByuN. Oh no, not like this. Takes it over to the face. Not the best start. Doesn't catch the army. And MaxPax, he can just recall. He can just recall from here. He's gonna have to. ByuN going for a counterattack. ByuN does have a massive army. MaxPax is walking back home. ByuN is gonna get there first. Do you have some defensive Novas? Oh my god. Nova does connect. But ByuN is pushing into the natural. He can send it. He's sending it. MaxPax coming in for the surround. Disruptors, they are late. Disruptors are delayed. Robo falls as well. Disruptors just now coming in. We needed them earlier. And without them, ByuN can take this. ByuN can still take this. Lands the Vikings, push into the mineral line. Disruptor still building up. But again, MaxPax is stuck on the wrong side of the wall. As ByuN just goes straight for the natural. He just bypasses the disruptors. Takes down the robos one after the other. And ByuN, does he take this? He might just. It's only a disruptor. Yeah, there's just not an army. There's nothing left for MaxPax. It was all or nothing for ByuN. ByuN is down to 33 SCVs, barely an economy. But it's more than enough. He can keep going. Takes down the Dark Shrine. Again, MaxPax just being greedy by not recalling. Otherwise, he could have bought time. Alas, now stuck on the low ground. Trying to push up a ramp into an army. Yeah, the main base goes down, 39 workers. MaxPax can still try to take this. Decent Novas. Decent connections. MaxPax still has bases, but not many workers to work with. Down to 42 probes. And not much production. As all the gateways are falling. MaxPax will force the army out. And again, ByuN still has, what, double the army supply. MaxPax is on 2 gateways. Trying to rebuild. Yeah, more gates on the way. And I feel like ByuN's done it. Like, MaxPax, he was playing well. He's playing very well, especially with the DT counterattacks. He was just pulling ByuN apart. He was crippling his economy. But again, who cares about... We have mules, Pappy. We have mules. Or even, I mean, we're holding up the skins just in case. Yeah, overcharge gets popped. Shield battery gets EMP'd. ByuN breaks the hybrid base as well. And MaxPax just cannot keep up. DT counterattack, it gets cleaned up as well. I believe that was the final Dark Templar. Now we see a recall on the right-hand side. But the disruptors are exposed. Yeah, ByuN can focus him down. He gets 1, he gets 2. And he's going for all 5. Yeah, the disruptors have to get the hell out of here. ByuN is chasing them down. Gets almost another. Regardless, we'll break the mineral line. And 24 probes go down. MaxPax trying to keep up. Ooh. Barely denies the Nova. The army is heavily overstimmed. But this is only half of the army. There's still plenty more back at home. And MaxPax, he's down to how many disruptors? Down to 1. He had 7 at one point, but he's down to 1 disruptor. One Nova is all he has. And even if he connects like with a beautiful connection, it's not gonna be enough. The splits are too good. ByuN, he snowballs out of control. GG gets called, and ByuN ties up the series. We are going to the ace match. GG. Whew, let's go. GG, well played. Again, MaxPax he was in control. He was in control of most of this game. MaxPax, he was pulling ByuN apart, trading well, getting to the mineral lines, killing workers. But as we saw, after MaxPax had crippled the mineral line at the third, he had rotated, and instead of recalling back home, he took the long way around. Because he took the long way around, that means that he was stuck outside of his bases. That means that the disruptors were kind of useless. The disruptors, they just couldn't really do anything. They couldn't really engage. We spoke earlier, pushing into disruptors is difficult, but disruptors pushing into an army, I mean, it's the opposite problem. MaxPax, he was on the wrong side of the wall. GG, well played. We're going all the way to game 5. Here we go. Hello, no clue. I look up Ursasaurus. Google tells me I need to be looking up Mosasaurus. It says I'm a fool of a took. Oh no. It's okay, no clue. Google's a fool. And now we're getting into game 5 and spawning in the top right hand corner of Alkione. We have the Danish Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Psystorm Gaming. Ooh, being forced into the ace match. Can he bring it back? It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. Here we go. ByuN, he was able to come back from a really dire position. ByuN was basically all in. He was all in. The only way that he could bring it home was to just send everything across the map. And again, he was fortunate that MaxPax was heavily out of position. And ByuN was able to take it from there. But it was still a very close game. And this could still go either way. But clearly, despite the sleep deprivation, despite the fact that ByuN has not slept in 48 hours, he hasn't slept in years, papi. Yeah. Smurge. Just non-stop StarCraft. Despite that, he's still going strong. He's still fighting his heart out. And he's not out of this yet. Let's go. As ByuN is opening up double gas. Double gas opener. Faster factory this time. So a safer start by ByuN. Meanwhile, MaxPax across the map opening up with a standard opener. Just gate cyber expand. ByuN had to me not sleeping. He is the degen. That's the secret, Bobby. That's the secret. You can't just be part degen. You have to commit. Go full ByuN. Aye. Not like this. Like, ByuN, what's your secret? How do you do it? How do you sleep so little? ByuN's like, oh, that's the secret. I never sleep. I'm always awake. Always playing StarCraft. Este ByuN. Shaking my head. As it is going to be a Stargate for the first time this series. For the first time in this best of 5, MaxPax opening up Stargate. Show us what you got. I'm ready for it. Now, I'm assuming this is going to be a Phoenix opener, but it could be Oracle. Especially if we're casting a Korean Protoss player, they're more prone to opening up Oracle. We'll see what MaxPax does go for. Initially, double Reaper out of ByuN. Double Reaper Hellion. Attempting to go for a scout. Will dip in, is going to be zoned away by the Stalker. ByuN poking up the ramp. There is an opening. And ByuN will dive in. Might be a one-way trip, but his goal here is to scout the tech, and he will get eyes on the Stargate and the Phoenix. So nice scout by ByuN. Hellion into the mineral line. Hellion will ideally soak some shots, but one Reaper falls. The other does escape. So nice defense here by MaxPax. Unfortunately, unable to deny the scout. And back at home, ByuN is now aware to get ready for the Phoenix harass. Not quite getting a probe. Nice control out of MaxPax. Does save the worker. Back at home, Cyclone production has begun. Viking as well. ByuN is settling in. Let's go. ByuN is working overtime. Really, everyone else is slacking. No, ByuN is playing in everything. Yeah, what about you? I was gonna say Clem, but Clem also signed up, didn't he? Did he sign up for Ursasaurus? He did not. Yeah, what about you, Clem? There we go. I was like, I don't remember him falling in this bracket. Shaking my head. What about you, hero? Be like ByuN, just never sleep. Cab. MaxPax is zoned away. ByuN keeping up with Cyclones, with Vikings. And we'll see if ByuN can break the third. It's going to be a tough defense here. I mean, there is an Immortal, no shield battery. Phoenix is a hit the natural. ByuN does commit. Lands the Viking, going for the third base. But again, that one Immortal might just be enough. Yeah, it will zone ByuN back. Thankfully, MaxPax didn't skip it. And with that, MaxPax defends. He defends, holds on to the third. Behind this second factory's on the way. He's crazy. ByuN. He's going Mass Cyclone. Yeah, Mass Cyclone here. We should be seeing an add-on swap into Hurricane Engines. He's doing it again. It didn't work on Side Delta, but can he make it work here on Alcyone? There's the add-on swap. And show us the Hurricane, Bappy. Let's go. As there it is. Hurricane Engines is being researched, and ByuN is going Mass Cyclone. Now, Mass Cyclone is a very niche build. It was a lot more commonplace earlier in the year, in the previous patch. Nowadays, there is an all-in that you can go for, and that's kind of what ByuN is going for, but all the Marines are being shut down. First Colossus has arrived. And we'll see how Mass Cyclone can really approach this. Do we have Disable? We do! We have Disable! I was going to say that the big problem here is going to be the Immortal and the Colossus, but the Ravens, they can deal with that. ByuN trying to catch his army out. Does scan. Does dive in. Does hold on to the Disable a little bit longer. ByuN is biding his time. Third factory's on the way. Still committed to Mass Cyclone. Double armory, double upgrades. He's making it up. There are two Colossus, but again, they can be disabled. ByuN, he wants it. He wants to go in. SCVs are falling here to the Phoenix harass. Phoenix is recalling back home. And MaxPax does realize that the army's out of position. Well, the army's across the map. And ByuN doesn't quite commit yet. So, and is he going to be forced to fight? He's forced to engage. There we go. The double disable. But MaxPax, he can just pull away. Third Colossus has arrived, and has ByuN missed his timing? I think he has. Disable runs out. Three Colossus, they reign supreme, and ByuN, he just cannot push in. He cannot touch this army. Aye. Gets two Stalkers. I mean, the Locons are insane. Oh, and has MaxPax overextended. Stalkers are going down. The Colossus are exposed. He gets them. Gets the anti-armor. The missile does connect. The Colossus is going down, and ByuN, he gets 2. And he should get the 3rd as well. 3rd Colossus does fall. Oh my god. Phoenix is out of position. They were not there. They weren't there to support. But doesn't matter. Charge kicks in. Cyclones are going down. It's still very close. Aye. ByuN, he's down to 3, sorry, down to 5 at Cyclones. Has to pull back across the map. MaxPax getting fully saturated, getting his 4th base up and running. Charge is done. Colossus building up. Archons as well. Now, thankfully, ByuN reset the Colossus count. He killed 3 Colossi. Because of that, MaxPax is stuck at home. He has to rebuild kind of the backbone of his army. So ByuN has some breathing room himself. And because ByuN went double factory, sorry, he went double armory, double upgrades. The upgrades are about to kick in, getting into 1-1, soon to be 2-2. So we're in a really odd game state. I think I favor MaxPax overall. Like, that was a really good moment for ByuN, but he needed more. He needed to, like, kill the army and then break the expansion and deny the 4th. If he was able to do that, then he'd be in an amazing position. But now he's trying to catch up in the bases, trying to catch up in the economy. He's stuck at home building up tanks. He's switching from Mass Cyclone into Tank Hellion, into a more slower style. And this is where units like Zealots and Charge Lots, they can thrive. They can shine. And 5 SCV kills. Now, what I find curious is that MaxPax is still making Colossus. I would have assumed that he would have gone into Charge Lot Archon Immortal, and I'm sure he will eventually, but yeah, going Colossus first. Interesting choice. Into Disruptor. That I'm not so sure about. Just because I imagine I imagine Battle Mech has an easier time kind of splitting and getting away from Novas. But we'll see. Like, this is a very interesting response, just because I'm used to seeing Immortals instead. We'll see if it works. I mean, the Novas, they still have potential, sure. Third Robo's on the way. Tanks do siege. ByuN gaining ground. There's a prison behind this. MaxPax ready for a counterattack. Massive tank shots to the Nova! Oh my god, Nova does not go up. Again, the Nova barely doesn't connect either. Again, Battle Mech, it can kite back. I mean, it's designed to. Yeah, Zealots are gonna melt here against the mech army. Nova's going off, but alas, that was a big overextension. MaxPax pushing into tanks, bleeding out a lot of units. Nova goes off, doesn't connect. And ByuN can keep pushing at the same time, though. ByuN bleeding out a lot of SCVs. 8 workers do go down. Zealot run by doing a lot. Even attempting to surround the army. Again, in my eyes, these charges are more threatening than the Disruptors. As MaxPax is still making more Disruptors. Prism into the main, but there is a Cyclone. Prism goes down. Nice pickoff. ByuN can now focus on his push. He can focus on the assault. How many Disruptors? 5. 5 Disruptors. Oof. Massive tank shots. Colossus is targeted down. Again, I'm not sure why we went Colossus first, and now we're making... now we have Immortal production. This I can get behind. Now we're getting to triple Immortal production, but is it too late? Like, again, I'm still not convinced by the current army, and MaxPax needs time to refine and get into Mass Immortal. MaxPax does need more time. Because this can deal with mech. I get into Charge Archon Immortal. He's getting there. That was going up. Oh! Spike connect. We'll catch out some of these Cyclones. Very nicely done. 2 Novas do break through. MaxPax being very cavalier, moving out on the map like this. Buying time. Oh! Does bleed out the disruptor. But again, I feel like MaxPax, he has to be active like that to make sure that he's safe back at home, that he's able to transition. Able to build up his immortals. The Observer does get eyes on the rotation. Liberators are exposed. Massive pickoffs. 2 libs go down. And the tanks are not quite in position either. The base is exposed. So not a bad trade here for MaxPax. And again, you can see that he's now incorporating more immortals. Meanwhile, massive Cyclone counterattack. But there are chargeless to defend. And a recall as well. Yeah, the Cyclones are all so low. And you can see there it takes only a handful of swipes for the Zealots to just shut this down. The charge slots, they're cracked. Getting back into Disruptor. Army does rotate. That's still a lot of tanks. We got some Zealots towards the left-hand side, but the Cyclones are in position. MaxPax getting ready for a surround. At least trying to set up. Oh my god. You can see without stim, it takes a lot to kill the Disruptor. Nova does go off. And we're coming in from behind. And we do have the surround. Cells from one end, Disruptors from the other, and ByuN is going to be shut down. As we get the full surround, there's no way out of this. There's no way out of this. The tanks are going to fall. Just barely they're cleaned up. We have reinforcements on the way. They will catch at least the Colossus. And even some of these Disruptors, they are exposed. Not bad. The 2 MVP Cyclones. They get 2. They get 3 Disruptors. It's still very close, but how many tanks was that? That was 17 tanks. Like, so many tanks just went down. That was an expensive army for ByuN. And ByuN does not have a bank. He has no bank behind this. ByuN can't afford those kind of losses. And MaxPax, he can just reinforce with more Zealots. Charge lots, more Immortals. Mass DT harass coming in. No skin! Oh, does skin, but a little bit too late. Oh my god, the tanks go down! He gets like 5 tanks! Oh my god. Talk about expensive losses. Tanks go down to the DTs at the same time. MaxPax pushing into a tank line. MaxPax does plummet in supply. MaxPax has a bank though. We need those warp pins. He's going for DTs. Oh, he's reinforcing with Dark Templar, going for run-bys. But he might be able to get the expansion. Yeah. No scan, and no missile tower. Planetary does go down. Massive pickoff at the same time. ByuN going for a counterattack. We'll get the expansion and the mineral line. 16 probes go down, trading a base for a base. The DTs are not done, they get another tank. Meanwhile, ByuN pushing in. ByuN, he will barely defend back it up with Cyclones. And can MaxPax hold? There it goes off. Just buying time. Tanks are leapfrogging forward, and ByuN, he's doing it! He's doing it, man! The mech! He's doing ByuN, sorry, he's doing Gumiho proud. He's making him proud. Again, Gumiho known for taking down some of the top Rotos players with mech, and ByuN looking to do something similar. I mean, Gumiho would commit to this in a full series. ByuN just a couple of times did sprinkle it in, but is making it work. We'll take down top left. The mineral line is exposed. MaxPax trying to collapse in, pushing into tank fire. Ooh, Cyclones are late to respond. First line of tanks go down, but there's still so many more tanks behind this. I say that, the final tank does fall. MaxPax breaks out, but GG gets called. He loses top left. 60 probes go down, and ByuN will take the series 3-2, becoming this week's Ursasaurus Cup champion. GG. Ah. GG, well played. Congratulations to ByuN as he does take the series 3-2. MaxPax, this was his debut in this tournament series. MaxPax has not played in an Ursasaurus Cup before, and now he has. And he had a good performance, made it all the way to the finals, but was unable to walk that royal road. ByuN, he did whip out Mech earlier in the series. As a reminder, ByuN tried to go Mass Cyclone on Site Delta, but it was off of a failed proxy, and he wasn't quite able to embrace it. Wasn't quite able to embrace it, but here in the ace match, ByuN was able to bring it forward here, and we have confirmation ByuN has been awake 24 hours. ByuN, after the game, you know what he said? He was like, "I'm going to sleep. Bye." He's like, "I'm so tired. I'm going to bed. See you next time." 24 hours. Get some rest, papi. Get some rest. ByuN. Shaking my head. GG. GG, well played. When it comes to MaxPax's response to Mech, he was getting there towards the end. I do think that he did, despite confirming that it was Mech, I do think that MaxPax was stuck on Colossus Disruptor for too long, which is not what you want. We saw him bleed out a lot of units and trade inefficiently. Eventually, he was working towards Charge Shot Immortal, and he was taking some good fights, but wasn't quite able to get there in the end. Did bleed out a lot throughout the mid game in the process of getting there, but it was still very back and forth. Still very back and forth. Still very close. GG. GG. Well played. Whew. Let's go. Here we go. Is Mech good against Protoss now? I mean, Gumiho has beaten Showtime a couple of times with Mech, and as I mentioned before, like, we have seen Clem play Mech against Protoss, we've seen ByuN play Mech against Protoss, but usually, to emphasize this, especially for the latter heroes out there, outside of Gumiho, whenever players like Maru and ByuN and Clem play Mech, they usually do it like once in a series, and they usually use it in an extended series to try to catch their opponent off guard. It isn't something that they rely upon frequently. Gimme has a different case. Gimme has we don't have to talk about him. But yeah, it is definitely something that you can whip out in a series here, and does work against the best players in the world. Oh, and it did feel like MaxPax was very uncomfortable against it. It did seem like he wasn't too practiced against it, and was still trying to find his footing against ByuN there, just because of how unorthodox and how rare it is to kind of see Mech against Protoss. With that, GG. GG, well played. GG. The entire series was a question mark. It was beautiful, papi. You know what it was? It was an Ursasaurus. It was an Ursasaurus. Speaking of, a shout out once again to Ursa TV and to Protostegosaurus as well, for making this event a reality. Again, they're two very passionate people, very passionate fans of StarCraft. They have come together to fund this event. That is why it is called the Ursasaurus Cup, and without them, this event would not be possible. So big shout out to Protostegosaurus and to Ursa TV. Otherwise, thank you for watching. If you want to help support this event, you can do so via Matcherino, Matcherino in the chat. Oh, hold on. Let me pay out the predictions. I got you covered. But Matcherino in the chat if you guys want to have, or if you guys wish to support the event yourselves and help boost the prize pool, you can do so via Matcherino. Otherwise, be sure to tune in next week. Again, during at least the off-season of EPT, we have all these events popping up. We have the Wardy TV Mondays, we have the KSRC, we have the Ursasaurus Cup, and we have Tenacious Turtle Tussle as well. So we have all these events coming together here to kind of create our own circuit in the off-season. And look forward to more events in the future, especially when it comes to this event, because there aren't just weeklies up ahead of us, but I believe there is a special kind of NA show match event planned in the future as well. Still yet to be determined, the date and the time and all that stuff. The details have yet to be worked on, but there is going to be, yeah, just a fun show match day later on towards the end of the year. Or at least next month. Which is kind of still the end of the year. Regardless, GG. GG, well played. Hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Hope you all had a great time. And with that, we're done for today. With that, we are done for the day. Again, if you want to help follow and support the Cranky Ducklings, oh, good. just stretching. If you want to help support the Cranky Ducklings, you can do so via following us on all the social medias. ! Socials in the chat. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Discord. All things Cranky Ducklings. You'll be notified when we go live. We do post whenever we do, and we do go live on a daily basis. This was our only cast today. We don't have a cast later on tonight like we did yesterday, and our next broadcast on the Cranky Ducklings is not going to be a tournament cast. It isn't. Oh no, it is. My apologies, I got ahead of myself. We're going to be live tomorrow in well under 24 hours with the Code for Giants Cup. If you're curious, what is the Code for Giants Cup? That is a Brazilian-only tournament. It is a tournament for Brazilian players where you do feature players like Yan, like Inexorable, like Eric, like Shakti, Master, and many others as well. So it is a Brazilian event that we do host, or that we do cast tomorrow. On top of that, the day after that, we have the Pond Cast. The Pond Cast is our weekly recap, roundup kind of news show for StarCraft 2 here on the Cranky Ducklings. So if you want to tune in, we have you covered there for the Pond Cast. Otherwise, thank you so much. There was someone asking earlier about the Wardy TV Festival. We, I believe, do not have permission to cover the Wardy TV Festival, so that should be covered by Wardy himself. So we will not be casting that. That's going to be left to Wardy instead. So we do have the rest of the night off. Because of that, I'm going to go take a small... I'm going to get some food. I'm going to go get some food. I'm going to go get some water and freshen up a little bit because, yes, we're going to play Ladder? Yeah, sure, why not? It's been like a week. It's been a couple of days. It's been like 5 days, I think. Almost a week, and I've been so busy casting, and I just haven't had the time to ladder. I do have the time today, though. I do have the time today, so may as well. Just a bit of a heads up. I'm out of practice. I'm slightly out of practice. It's been, let me just double check. Oh, I was last laddering on the 19th, so 5 days ago. 5 days ago was our last ladder session, so this has been a while. It's been a while. So we're a little bit rusty, but I'm sure it's gonna be fun. I'm also totally not tired. I'm gonna go get some water. And I'll see you guys in a couple of minutes, maybe like 10 minutes or maybe 15 minutes at most, with some ladder over on the Americas server. So do look forward to that over on my personal channel. Otherwise, thank you for watching. We'll see you guys tomorrow for some more casting, some more tournament action. Otherwise, thank you for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Also, very quickly, if you want to help support us in another way, you can do so via Patreon, !Patreon in the chat. We do have a Patreon to help fund and support our tournaments. So if you want to help support the StarCraft scene in another way, you can do so via Patreon. We'll help support the Cranky Ducklings as well. Otherwise, thank you. Thank you for watching. We'll see you guys next time. We'll see you guys next week for the next Ursasaurus Cup, or tomorrow for the next tournament cast, or in like 15 minutes for some ladder. I'll see you guys next time. Until then, ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego. Hasta luego.